St. Mary's College Biz Ad 123, Financial Management. Goldman Sachs presentation, Take One, Team One, and Action.
Good morning, St. Mary's College. My name is Vincent Albano. I'll be your pitch man today. This is Matt Koss. He is our team leader, and Kevin Saudry, our financial analyst. This morning we are analyzing Goldman Sachs stock, and our recommendation is to buy. Our premium is set at 45%, and our intrinsic value is at $295.30. Current stock price is $203.07. So our background on Goldman Sachs, they were founded in 1869. The founders are Marcus Goldman and Samuel Sachs. The present CEO is David Solomon, and I think Matt has a fun fact about our CEO for you.
Yeah, David Solomon actually is a very recent CEO to the company, only within the last year, but he actually has a part-time music career as well. His DJ name is DJ D Soul, so you'll be looking out for him as well in the music scene.
Yeah, keep an eye out for his next drop. Their headquarters is based out in Manhattan, New York City, New York, and the industry they are in is financial services. The Goldman Sachs Group is a leading global financial services firm and management services for a substantial and diverse client base. That includes corporations, financial institutions, governments, and high net worth individuals. This is a list and some visual for you of the current leadership at Goldman Sachs. We have DJ David M. Solomon up top. One thing you'll notice is many of their tenures are pretty short, so they haven't been in the position very long, and we'll address that more later. You can go ahead and forget. And next, here are our services. So institutional client services get us up to I believe that's 1,467,000, which is 47% of the revenue here. So you can see all the percentage, how it's based out as far as the different kinds of services.
Okay, so I'm just going to go over briefly some of the SWOT analysis. I think it's important because our premium is so high, it's important to address some of the weaknesses specifically. This is why our premium is reasonable still to buy on this premium, because some of the weaknesses have been exposed recently, such as the Malaysia scandal, in which they were actually the most successful foreign bank in Malaysia from 2011 to 2013. Now, they own 21% of the market share there, and the US government actually decided that they failed to comply with the US Bank's Secrecy Act, which basically they had a $3 billion bond go towards the 1MDB, which is the Sovereign Wealth Fund in Malaysia. That brought down their valuation and stock value a lot recently, as well as the New York Times exposed ethics issue about the former lead at Goldman Sachs, who was actually signed to secrecy, but he left the company due to issues on ethics. So the new management has been trying to address these issues, again, bringing down the value. But many people predict that there will be high buyback predictions for the bank in the recent months, including at the end of the year, $5 billion of buyback predicted by Schlossberg in Trading Nation, as well as just being a big name company. So again, here's our bank ranking. We are at the bottom in terms of total assets, but that does not matter too much in terms of our evaluation, only because we're a smaller company than these others. And financial condition, as you can see, this is where we do excel. We are above average on mostly everything, below average on 3 of them, but the excellence will definitely outweigh the below averages. And technical analysis, as you can see, the stock is currently at 203.7. We have a mild upward trend over the last 3 years, which kind of offsets the fact that in the last 3 months we've gone down a little bit in valuation.
All right, so here's our perpetuity model. As you can see, we have a premium of 27. Our stock value, our intrinsic value is 258.7. Our CAPM calculations are here. Our growth predictions, our earnings per share, our stock value, and our weights here. Next slide. Now we have Gordon Growth. Our prediction for Gordon Growth was an intrinsic value of 295 and a premium of 45. Here we have our multiple approach. We have our PE ratio weights there. We have our valuation over there. Discounted cash flow, our intrinsic value calculation for discounted cash flow is 304 with a premium of 49. And for our weighted stock valuation over here, we picked these weights here. As you can see, we have a pretty high weight for our multiple approach and our discounted cash flow. We did this because it's more, those weighting schemes those models are better for the banking industry.
So again, we come back to our evaluation here, which is buy. Our financial services, service indices are indicating we buy futures, buy forwards, buy calls on futures, and write puts on futures. Financial services are ETFs. Buy on margin, buy calls, and write puts. And for stocks, we have buy on margin, buy on calls, and write puts.
Thank you, and do you guys have any questions? Yes.
Does DJ Saul have a SoundCloud?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he actually has a YouTube as well. So
We're actually listening to it
he
as
put out a new remix about 2 months ago.
It's opened up for a lot of like big name DJs.
Definitely. Thank you.